Hey everyone, welcome back, and hello to you new people too. I'm Courtney, this is Phaedra. Today I've got a review and demo for you on the Honest Beauty Falling For You Everything Makeup Palette. This is an eye, lip, and cheek palette, so you get 5 eyeshadows, 1 cream blush, and 2 lip products. I bought this at Ulta. I'm going to go ahead and swatch the eyeshadows for you first. I've already put Urban Decay's Primer Potion on the back of my hand. This is the Sigma E47 brush, and I'm going to use it with the first color here, which is the Matte Black and Burgundy. And this is a dark burgundy with a matte finish. It's a little sheer, and I wish it was a little bit easier to blend. I didn't think it was terrible, and you'll be able to see that in the tutorial. It's not really bad to blend at all, but it's definitely not as buttery smooth as I would like. I'm going to apply this color right here, which is the Chromed Rose, with this Naked brush. It's an Urban Decay brush. And Honest Beauty calls this a taupe with a shimmer. I guess it might be a taupey brown, but to me it looks very much like a brown with like golden shimmer. I'm going to apply the gold color next, and this is another Urban Decay shadow brush. And this is a yellowed gold. And I will zoom in close up on these so you can check them out. This is a Dusted Copper. And this is another Urban Decay brush. And it's a sparkly coppery shade, where the yellow gold is more like a metallic gold. This is like a metallic gold, metallic copper with sparkle, like copper sparkles. The last color we have is Smoked Aubergine. Honest Beauty says this is a blackened eggplant with shimmer. And I really feel like it looks like on the hand more of like a black with purpley shimmer. And I'm going to show you all 5 of those colors on the back of my hand. You can see how pretty they are. I'm going to show you the blush. And it's a soft pink. This is the lighter of the 2 lipsticks. It's like a dusty rose color. And this is the darker of the 2 lipsticks. It's a black and maroon shade. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. In a palette, I typically want it to be all powder products. I don't really like mixing creams and powders because I feel like you're gonna end up with the colors mingling when you shut the palette. Because these colors don't have much, if any, fallout. I did have a little bit of fallout when I used this color on my eye. I feel like it's not as bad as some palettes, but when it comes to ease of use, especially with a dark color like this, you absolutely need a lip brush to apply this color. And I like the color, don't get me wrong, but I don't really like this formatting for it. I do feel it's okay for softer colors like this that you can just apply with your fingertip for like a wash or a hint of color, because it's not so hard to get it to apply easily. And the cream blush is actually pretty easy to apply. I think it's a very flattering color on my skin tone. Now, the reason I bought this palette is because when I saw it, it really did immediately scream fall. Here in Florida right now, it's 92 degrees. I'm trying to pretend like it's fall, but it's not. It is so hot. It's still so hot. It's one of the things I dislike about Florida is that we really don't get a good fall. And you know, I love fall. Fall is a great time. I love pumpkin spice. I love all of the things that go with fall. So I kind of wish we had a better fall. But I saw this palette, and these are the colors, like the burgundy here, this dark sparkly color, and the copper are really the colors that I've been gravitating towards recently. So I saw this palette and I went, this is a perfect fall palette for me, because it has this matte burgundy, it has a sparkly burgundy, it has a pretty copper, and I like the gold shade. I don't really know that I care about the brown. Maybe I'll try it and maybe I'll like it better, but these 3 colors really sold me on the fact that I needed it. I like the cream blush better than I thought I would, especially because it's a very flattering soft neutral shade, which works really well with either the soft lip or the bold lip. But I'm not really crazy about the bold lip in this palette, just because I don't find it very easy to apply. To put this on, you'll see, if you watch the demo later, you'll see that I used a lip pencil first, and then I went back with a lip brush to apply the lipstick. And you know, I normally like to apply lipstick out of a tube or a pencil, so it was okay. But I do like the color a lot. So this palette is $35. As I mentioned, you can pick it up at Ulta. One of the things I thought was really cool about it is that Jessica Alba, who's the owner of Honest Beauty and Honest Company, teamed up with celebrity makeup artist Daniel Martin to create this palette. It's supposed to be sort of a nod towards the 90s, since the 90s have been making a comeback. And once I saw that, I could completely agree. In the 90s, I wore a very dark lipstick. I didn't really do a lot with eyeshadow. I did like super thick black eyeliner. It was not really, I was not good at makeup, so anyway, but I really do like the colors chosen for the palette. Like these three colors, the three eyeshadow colors really speak to me. I absolutely love the dark lipstick color, just don't like it in this palette, in the sense that I don't find it easy to use. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the tutorial and then talk to you a little bit more about it afterwards. Start by applying eyeshadow primer. I put an Urban Decay's Original Primer Potion and I let it dry. I feel like most people don't mention that, but when you put on eyeshadow primer, you should make sure and let it dry so that you have a nice bare canvas to work with. I'm taking the color Baby Cakes, which is by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'm gonna use this as a base shade on the brow bone and hood of my eye. I'm using the Sugar Pill large eyeshadow brush, and basically this is a pale pink color. You could use a pale skin tone shade if you prefer. Another dupe for this color would be Urban Decay Strange from the Naked 3 palette. That's actually why I bought it, because I thought it would be a Naked 3 palette Strange dupe, and it is, and I love it. I'm gonna take the Black and Burgundy color right here, which is a matte shade, with the Urban Decay Moondust brush. And I'm gonna sweep this on the lid, and then I'm going to blend it out onto the hood of my eye. I'm actually gonna switch to the Iconic eyeshadow brush to do the color on my hood. And I'm doing the smoky dome shape, which means I'm not gonna go past the outer corner of my eye or the inner corner of my eye, because I'm trying to make this flattering for hooded eyes. And I want the color to just be visible when I'm looking straight ahead, so just barely visible, because it creates the illusion of a crease for hooded eyes. And I actually think the Iconic brush is really good for doing this, because you can use it to apply shadow or blend, and it's a softer brush. And really, you just have to pay attention to where the beginning and end of your eye. To further blend this out, I'm gonna take the tapered blending brush. And I'm sort of, right now, I'm doing sort of windshield wiper, like back and forth. But at the outer corner, I'm sort of swirling it in little circles. And this is just to soften the edges. Okay, now many of you have asked me to stop and stare in the camera so you can see what it looks like when you're looking straight forward. So when I'm looking straight forward at you, this is what I see. So to me, when I'm looking straight forward, I don't know if I'm too far down or not. You can just barely see the Black and Burgundy color up on the hood of my eye. So when I close it, you can kind of see it's a smoky dome. Next, I'm gonna take this Smoked Aubergine shade, and I'm using the same Moondust brush, and I'm just gonna layer this on top on the lid. So I just put that on the lid to add more dimension. I'm gonna take the Detailed Smudger brush, and I'm gonna use the matte color again, the Black and Burgundy, on the lower lid. We're gonna take the coppery shade in this medium eyeshadow brush. And I'm kind of patting it onto the lid. I'm actually gonna spray my brush with a little bit of Urban Decay's All Nighter, sort of intensify this color on the lid. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more sparkle with Urban Decay's Space Time. This is a Liquid Moondust shade. I'm gonna go back over it with the coppery color just to sort of set it in place. I'm gonna take Anastasia Buon Fresco with this iconic eyeshadow brush by Urban Decay and just sort of soften the edges of this in the crease so it looks better. I'm using this as a transitional color and I'm doing gentle windshield wiper motions. I'm going to use the Urban Decay large blending brush to very, very softly blend on the hood. I want to make sure everything looks smooth. I'm going to apply the cream blush. This is Crushed Pink. I'm going to highlight with Urban Decay's Aura. I'm going to line my lips with Urban Decay's Blackmail pencil. I'm going to take the Garnet shade from the palette. I do not like applying lipsticks from a palette like this, much like I don't like cream blushes. Now for the first time since I had my brows microbladed, I'm gonna put on some brow gel. This is Glossier's Boy Brow in Black, and I'm just gonna use a tiny little bit to just kind of hold the hairs in place. I'm gonna use the red side of Aura over here and the Sigma Taper blending brush to highlight at my inner corner. You know what, I'm actually gonna go back with a little bit of Aura the highlighter. This is my first time applying highlighter since I got my brows done. I'm gonna zoom in so you can see the finished eye look. I promise there will be no trying to make love to the camera with my eyes. So here's my finished look. Okay, I hope that you enjoyed my fall tutorial that I created, mostly using the Honest Beauty Falling For You palette. I really had fun putting this look together. I think it's really pretty, obviously, or I wouldn't have done it. I'm really into this like coppery shade on the lid, and I love the burgundy for the crease. I just kind of want to wear the burgundy all the time. And yes, the dark lips. Holy crap, I love, I love dark lips. So I'm feeling these colors. I love this. I think it's a great, like, what I think is great about it is that you're not overwhelmed with 20 or 30 colors in a palette. You just have 5 shades and you can get a lot of different combinations with the 5 shades that I think are flattering. Yes, for me, because I have hooded eyes, I had to use other colors with this palette. So I used, you know, a pale pink base shade, and then I did use a light sort of mauve color as a transitional color. But I feel like it works really well with this palette. I'm a fan of Honest Beauty's eyeshadows, as you know, or maybe you don't know. I'll put a link in case you don't. I went out and I bought I bought a couple of the trios, fell in love, bought all the rest of the trios and the other palette that Honest Beauty released. So I have swatches of all of them up on my blog and I've reviewed them all. I really like the colors. I feel like they're very nicely pigmented, and they are definitely more in that organic, clean beauty category. So if you are really looking for products like that, I think you should check out Honest Beauty because I think they do a great job with that. As far as I'm aware, the products are all made in the USA. So that's another thing too, if you care about buying products that are made here. I know for me personally, even though I love this color, I would prefer it to be in like a lipstick format or a lip pencil format rather than in this little palette, because it's hard to apply dark colors without having a lip brush and a lip pencil just to get them just right. So it bugs me, but aside from that, I love the colors in this palette, and I think that if you're looking for a really easy fall palette, like a really easy palette to create fall looks with, you can do it with this because you have this great gold, you have the copper, which I think is outstanding. I really love how the copper works with my blue-green eyes. You have the burgundy, obviously, that I love so much. Anyway, what do you think of the Honest Beauty Falling For You palette? Please be sure to let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share. You know I love it when you share my videos. And if you haven't already, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching.